What is the soul? The soul is infinite, and it is eternal, just as the spirit is also infinite and eternal. But the soul and the spirit are two different things stemming from the same one thing. The difference between the soul and the spirit is that the soul is passive in relation to the spirit, whereas the spirit is active in relation to the soul. To put differently, the spirit is an activity of the soul, and the soul is the byproduct of the spirit's choices. The soul is infinitely large, and the spirit is infinitely small. And so how are they connected, the soul and the spirit? Since the spirit is infinitely small and the soul infinitely large, they have two directions. The spirit points towards the soul, and the soul points towards the spirit. It seems they are two different things, but in infinity, the infinitely large and the infinitely small are one and the same. The soul and the spirit are only separated when the spirit takes activity, when a decision is made, when a choice is made, when focus is active. Then the soul reacts to it as something occurring within infinity that changes within itself. So too the relation to infinity changes. And thus the soul takes form, creating a pathway back for the spirit towards the soul. When the spirit is active, the soul gravitates towards the active part of the spirit. The soul reveals itself a possible path for the spirit back to its own infinite nature. The soul can also activate the spirit to show direction when the spirit activates itself directly to the soul, asking for guidance. The soul and the spirit reveal each other, their respective infinite natures and paths. To the spirit, the soul is the guide that shows the spirit's destiny back to itself. The spirit comes from infinity, and when the spirit is separated from its outward infinity, then the soul reveals itself as a guide. To the soul, the spirit is the choices that have been made to reconcile the two infinities back into one. There is a natural gravity between the two, the separation of the self between an active, the spirit, and a passive part, the soul. It all becomes a relation of two infinities gravitating towards each other. The spirit gravitates towards the soul with choices, and the soul gravitates towards the spirit with possible paths. If the spirit were to ask itself, "What am I?" looking within, it would reply, "I am infinity." Looking outwards, however, it replies, "I am a mere part, separated from the world." If the soul were to ask itself that same question, "What am I?" looking within itself, it would reply, "I am an infinite amount of possibilities showing the way back to myself." Looking outwards, the soul would reply, "I am just infinity." And so, the spirit, if it were to surrender itself completely, the soul becomes clear as space for the spirit to see, forming possibilities and even seemingly defying logic occurrences, sometimes to show the spirit's choices and possibilities. When the soul is activated, the spirit is receiving a possible path it may choose in order to move forward. When the spirit activates itself, it creates a relationship with the object of focus and decision, moving itself and its soul towards that goal, creating more possibilities along that path. The soul can appear as synchronicities, as spontaneous manifestations, as dreams, incredible moments of guidance. The soul is the response to the question, to the spirit, which way? The soul always responds, this way. The spirit is power, and the soul is wisdom.